We always see the highlight reels, right? The impossible shots, the record-breaking sprints. We see the physical genius, but what we don't see is the real engine driving it all. Today, we're going to go inside the mind of an athlete, using Jim Afremow's The Champion's Mind as our guide, to really uncover the hidden architecture of what makes someone great.
So, what is it? What really separates the legends from the people who are just plain talented? We see the wins, we see the trophies, but what's that invisible force that's actually driving all that success? Is it just dumb luck, or some kind of natural-born ability? Well, the answer is way more interesting than that.
It all comes down to the mind, pure and simple. Look, physical talent might get you in the door, but it's mental fortitude that lets you own the entire building. That's the difference between a good player and a true champion.
All right, so let's dive in and go beyond just the physical. Because yeah, we admire an athlete's power and skill, but their true strength is forged in a place we can't even see, the intense, high-pressure cooker of their own mind.
Just try to picture this for a second. You're in a championship final. That's not just a physical game you're playing, it's a mental battlefield. You've got the crushing weight of expectation, this nagging fear of making that one critical mistake, and you've got the judgment of millions of people watching. Things go wrong, game plans fail, injuries happen. This is the world they live in.
And this is where we get to the heart of it, mental toughness. But here's the key. It's not about being fearless or some kind of robot. It's about performing while you feel the fear. It's the skill of staying completely locked in on your goal, even when every part of you is screaming to just give up. This quote just nails it. Imagine a boxer. They get knocked down hard in the first round. For a lot of people, the fight's over right there. But the champion? Oh, they don't just get back up. They get up with new information. They learn from that punch, they adjust their strategy, and they come back smarter and even stronger. That is mental toughness in action.
So where does this mental toughness even come from? It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It needs fuel, and that fuel is a very specific way of thinking. It's all about the difference between a fixed and a growth mindset.
This really breaks down the two different worlds people live in. On one side, you have the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your abilities are set in stone. You've either got it or you don't. And that leads to avoiding challenges because you don't want to risk looking bad. But a growth mindset, that's seeing your abilities as a work in progress. Challenges become opportunities. And failure? Failure isn't the end. It's just feedback.
And this, right here, is why mindset will always beat raw talent in the long run. The gifted athlete with a fixed mindset, they're going to hit a wall eventually and just stop. But the dedicated one with a growth mindset, they see that wall as something to climb. And that sheer dedication will win out every single time.
Okay, so we've got the mindset down. But what does that actually look like when you're in the heat of the moment? Well, champions have this practical toolkit they use for managing that crazy pressure and staying in control.
Here are 4 of their go-to tools. First up, it starts with something physical. Controlling your breath. It sounds simple, I know, but taking slow, deep breaths literally tells your nervous system to calm down. Then there's mindfulness. That's all about bringing your focus to the now. Not the point you just lost, but the one that's right in front of you. Your internal dialogue is huge too. That's positive self-talk, replacing "don't mess this up" with "I've got this." And finally, visualization. This is huge. It's winning the game in your mind before you even step onto the field.
And here's the cool thing. It's a two-way street. Think about it. When you feel defeated, what happens? Your shoulders slump, your head goes down. That posture just reinforces a defeated mindset. Champions know this. They use their body to command their mind. Standing tall, breathing deep, it's not just for show. It's like a biohack for instant confidence.
So, we've got mental toughness, we've got a growth mindset, and we have a toolkit for pressure. But what's the glue that holds all of this together? Well, the final secret is probably the simplest one of all: consistency.
Championships aren't really won on game day. They're won in the thousands of quiet days that come before it. All those early mornings, the extra reps when no one's watching, the disciplined choices. It's all about just showing up and doing the work day in and day out, with no excuses.
And you can see the difference so clearly right here. Just look at the average routine. It's inconsistent, it's random, and key things are ignored. It's a direct path to burnout. Now look at the champion's routine. Every single element, the physical training, the mental practice, and even rest and recovery is a scheduled, non-negotiable part of the process.
Now, you might look at a routine like that and think, wow, that sounds like a prison. But it's actually the exact opposite. It's freedom. By making all the important stuff automatic, champions get rid of decision fatigue.
There's no waking up and wondering, should I train today? The decision is already made, and that frees up a ton of mental energy and builds this unstoppable momentum.
And all of this leads to the ultimate payoff: confidence. Real, unshakable confidence isn't some magic trick you play on yourself. It's the quiet knowledge that comes from competence. It's what you're left with after you've put in the work and proven to yourself over and over again that you can deliver when it counts.
So as we wrap this up, remember that these ideas aren't just for pro athletes. They're for anyone who's facing a challenge in any part of life. Which really just leaves one question for you to think about. What's one small, consistent step that you will take starting today to build your own champion's mind?